What's up, beautiful people, and welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this is Bond Book Reviews and my name is Crystal. And as you can tell by the time of the month and the title and thumbnail of this video, it is time for another round of my TBR game, PickPong. Now, if you are unfamiliar with what PickPong is and this is your first time coming into this channel, I will have the playlist link down below so you can check out all the fun that we've been having for more than the last 12 months. But pretty much, it is a game that I play to choose my monthly TBR that I have cups that have prompts on the bottom of them and I have to throw it into the cup, whatever cup it lands in, I have to fulfill that prompt. I have a total of 5 each month. However, if I miss 5 times in a row, then I have to add an extra prompt. Depending on how I went the month before is a matter of whether or not I start with a punishment or a reward. If I complete all the books from the month before, then I start with a reward. If I don't, then I start with a punishment. Now, on the bottom of each cup, there will be prompts, and 3 random prompts will have punishments and 3 random prompts will have rewards. So I can also get punishments and rewards throughout the game as well. I think that's pretty much the only real rules that you need to know. It hasn't really changed too much throughout the starting. I am running out of punishment and reward ideas, so if you would like to drop some in the comments down below, that would be really, really helpful. And I think without further ado, let's jump into how I did last month. So for last month, I had an Insta poll as my first prompt, and I had to choose between Cinder and A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, and Cinder won. I am yet to start this. However, I'm filming this on the 22nd, I think it is, of the month. So I do still have like a week left. However, my reading has been so off track lately and I don't think I'm going to start it. So I am going to potentially start with a punishment this month because the likelihood of me actually getting to it is quite low. For standalone, I had A Monster Calls, and I have not started this. I did, however, read a book that can fulfill that prompt, and I said to myself, if I read a book that could fulfill the prompt in the month, then I'm allowed to swap it out. I was trying to be easy on myself. I read The Winter Dress by Lauren Shatter, so that is a standalone, so I can effectively swap that out. So if I do finish Cinder, then effectively I have passed PickPong so far, but yeah, I'm just going to start with a punishment because I'm swapping books out and not finishing others. It's just got to be easier. For a finished series, I had Tales of a Tory, which I have started and I am about 25% in. I'm reading it at the moment. For intimidating, we had The Stand by Stephen King, which I can say that I finished. As hard as it was, as much as I wanted to DNF it, I have finished that chonker of a book. Thank you very much to everybody that joined us in the Stand By Me-a-thon. Without you, I probably wouldn't have gotten through that book because it was a whole lot of filler. And then for a 2020 release, I had The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I have finished. So I finished most of them. 2 of them I haven't, but I don't think there's enough time for me to get them finished before the end of the month if I'm realistic. Old Crystal probably, new Crystal who has 0 reading ability and just wants to binge watch Netflix says start with a punishment. So we're going to be starting with a punishment this month. And yeah, so let's go and get set up and start our throws. Now, I forgot to mention I have 2 rewards that I get to carry over from last month. So I do have a -1 miss and a +1 life. So the +1 life means that if I get 5 misses, I don't have to take a punishment. I get an extra life, so I get an extra lot of 5. And the -1 miss just means I get to take a miss off. So they carry over because I haven't used them from last month. But we do need to start with a punishment, so let's find out what the punishment is for the month. Time limit. So with this, the way that I set it up was that one of the books that I choose this month, I will put a poll on Twitter and Instagram asking for a time limit of when I have to read it by, and then I will choose a random or average time limit. So say, for example, I say, I'm going to be reading The Stand. How many days do I have to read it in? You guys would say 10 days, and then I have to read it within 10 days or it doesn't count as a pass for the game. So I will add this time limit to one of the books at the end of my selections, but that is the punishment that is going to be added to my TBR for the month. Now let's start with throw number 1. And prompt number 1 is dystopian. For dystopian, I am going to choose Contagion by Terry Terry. This is a new book that I've added to my TBR recently. and it is following a like post-apocalyptic world where there's kind of like a contagion out there, but there's also a missing person. So it definitely does hit this dystopian-esque environment. So that's my choice. And we will replace that prompt with Libby. Okay, time for prompt number 2. Or miss number 1. Can you please stop? Anthony, I'm trying to film. Idiot. I'm trying to film and Anthony's in the room doing vocal exercises like bop, bop, bop. Okay. Throw number 2. Okay, throw number 2. Ooh. It was going to be in this one, but now it's in this one, so let's see. Okay, so we got page number. So we will get Alexa to pick a random number between 250 and 600, and then I have to try and find a book as close to that number of pages as possible. Alexa, pick a number between 250 and 600.
Here's the number between 250 and 600. It's 470.
Okay, so the number is 470. Of course, the bitch pictures me a large one.
I don't know that one.
Let me find a book that is around 470 pages. Okay, so I went through my entire Goodreads, sorted by page number, and I have 3 books that are 470 pages, and I've read all 3 of them. So the next closest is a 469, which is This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. So that is going to be the choice for my page number prompt. And we will replace that prompt with star. Okay, prompt number 3. Miss number 2. Try again for prompt number 3. I had such a good month last month with like 0 misses. I even got a backwards throw in. Okay, we'll take it. Prompt number 3 is Pan Macmillan, and it has a reward on it. So this is just any book published by Pan Macmillan. Okay, for this one, I am going to pick one of the books off my 22 books I wanted to read in 2022, which is True Colours by Kristen Hanna, and it is published by Pan Macmillan. Not too big, and it's Kristen Hanna, so can't go wrong. And it comes with another reward, so let's choose our reward. The reward is buy a book, which just means I can buy a book in the month of, what's it called? What month are we in? In the month of May, I can buy a book if I want to. Yeah, it just allows me to buy a book pretty much. That's the reward. It was put in there from when I was on a book buying ban, which I'm now no longer on, so. And we will replace that prompt with Anthony's shelf. Okay, time for prompt number 4. Okay, and we got, TBR game with another reward. The question is, whose game do I want to play? / whose game can I recreate easily? I have all of my Roll of Reads prompts printed out from the Roll of Readathon, so I might just use Mel's game Roll of Reads, and I'll put out 20 and roll a d20 to find out which prompt I have to fulfill. But let's find the reward first and then do that. I only have 1 reward left, and it's Step Closer. I'm pretty much like at the table at this point anyways, so I'm just going to allow myself to lean forward. That's going to be my Step Closer reward. Let me go grab all of Mel's stuff. Okay, so I have all of Mel's prompts pretty much. There's 1, there's 20. I shuffled and picked 20. And we got number 6. So that would be this one here, which is published in the 1980s. Oh God, we're going to have to go searching. Okay, so something published in the 1980s, I am going to go with Jean M. Ailes' The Plains of Passage. So, editing Crystal here, I realised I don't actually own a copy of the third book in the series, and the book that I was holding up is the fourth book in the series. So we're going to scratch that, and the book that I'm going to read is Ender's Game by Scott Orson Card, which I do own a copy of. I just can't find it this very second. So yeah, I'm going to read Ender's Game instead, which is the first book in the Ender's Game saga, and it was published January 15, 1985. So it still counts because I don't own a copy of the third book. So yeah. And we will replace that prompt with Gifted. It does have a green dot on it from last time. I'm just going to ignore that and take it off because we already had our punishments and rewards. Now I am meant to be buddy reading Priest with Rye from Rye's Reading Corner this month, and I haven't managed to get it on this TBR, so hopefully this last prompt will allow me to do so. Otherwise that'll be a sixth book I have to read this month, and with my reading going the way it is at the moment, a sixth book is not what we need. All right, fifth and final prompt, hopefully, unless I get some more misses, but I do have my +1 life here, so I think we're safe. Spoke too soon. Okay, miss number 4. Let's try again for prompt number 5. And that is miss number 5, so there goes my +1 life. Now I forgot I have my step closer, so I'm going to lean over for this one, and this is going to be prompt number 5. And I still miss. Oh my god. Alrighty, so miss number 1 in our second lot of misses. Come on, I just want my 5th book. That'll do, I'll take it. And our 5th and final prompt is number, and it has a punishment on it. So I need to do a random number generator on my entire owned TBR, and whatever number comes up is the book that I have to read. Yay. Considering I don't actually own a copy of Priest is definitely not going to come up. But let's see what our punishment is, just in case it means that I have to do any extra throws or take any extra punishments or whatever. Okay, it is blind throw. So that punishment will follow me to next month, because obviously I have no more throws to do this month. So my first throw next month will be a blind throw, just to make things fun and interesting. Let's do a random number generator and find out what book I'm going to be reading for this final prompt. So I have my bookshelf TBR here. It has 405 books on it. Alexa, pick a number between 1 and 405.
Here's a number between 1 and 405. It's 233.
Okay, let's find 233. Ooh, okay. Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. This is a first in a series, and I really don't want to start a new series, but the random number generator has spoken. So there you have it, my 5 books for the TBR for the month of May, plus obviously my buddy read with Rye from Rye's Reading Corner of The Priest. But I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, there is one chunker in there, but I've read the other 2 books pretty quickly in the series, so I shouldn't have too much of an issue. But let's go through what they're for, what they're about, and which one I'm going to put a time limit on. So first up for dystopian, we have Contagion by Terry Terry. As I've mentioned before, this is a book about a girl who is missing. And as people go to find her, they end up finding that there is a massive contagion that is currently sweeping the nation. And it's like a terrifying epidemic, and I just think it's going to be pretty exciting, fast-paced. I did just obviously finish The Stand by Stephen King, so I'm a little nervous reading another book about an epidemic, but yeah, it seems like it'll be a quick read, so I'm very excited for that one. For page number, we had a book that was 470 pages long, and I picked This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab, which is 469, because all of the books that I own on my TBR that are 470 I have already read. So this is the end of one I ended up choosing. I absolutely know nothing about this series other than the fact that Jade from JD Ray Reads raves about V.E. Schwab and this particular series, as well as pretty much anything from V.E. Schwab. So I picked it up on a whim, adding it to my wish list, and got sent to me by my lovely friend Colleen for my 30th birthday. So I just think it's the perfect time to finally pick it up, considering I have been 30 for almost 6 months now. So it is time to read. It's been on my shelf for too long. And it's good that the page number generator chose it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have picked it off my shelf because I'm trying not to start any new series. But lo and behold, we're starting 2 new series already and we're only 2 books in. Next up, we had a book that was published by Pan Macmillan, and I chose Kristen Hanna's True Colours, which was on my 22 books to read in 2022. So I'm continuing to work through that list. Again, know nothing about this one other than the fact that it is from Kristen Hanna. She's an auto-buy author for me. She's one of my faves. So excited to get another one of her backlists off my TBR. Then we had to play a TBR game, and I chose to play Mel from a book fiend named Mel's TBR game, which is Roll of Reads, just because I had all of her prompts already printed out and a D20 ready to go. So it was nice and easy for me to replicate. But if you do have a TBR game that I'm unfamiliar with, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm always looking for new ones to find and add in to use in that prompt. But yeah, so for that, I had to pick a book that was published in the 1980s, because the TBR prompt that we had was around Mel's birthday, and she was born in the 80s. And so yeah, I ended up picking The Plains of Passage, which is book 3 in this series. And then lastly, I had to do a random number generator on my entire owned TBR, and it chose to me The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid, which is another series start. So I'm starting 3 new series, but I am continuing 1. So I mean, I'm kind of doing okay. And I'm also getting a book off my 22 books to read in 2022. So my goals are still being tackled. I'm just also going against them by reading books that I shouldn't. But all 5 books that I'm reading for PickPong this month are off my TBR shelf. So I am definitely getting that 300 and getting closer to getting below that 350 goal, which is my aim, to get my physical TBR down below 350. So if I read these, it'll be down to 400, which makes me very excited. And then obviously, as I mentioned, I am doing a buddy read with Rye from Rye's Reading Corner of The Priest, which both scares and intrigues me. I'm very interested and excited to do that one, so we'll see how that goes. I don't currently own a copy of it. I think I have an ebook of it, but I don't own a physical copy. So it'll be interesting to dive into, because it's the dark side of romance that I haven't yet kind of delved into. So we'll see how we go. But that's it, guys. They're my books that I'm reading for the month of May. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe and join the fam. If you don't have anything to say but would like to leave a comment down below, then please leave a butterfly emoji in the comments down below. And until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend and happy reading. Me again. I realized I didn't actually put a time limit on any of these. So the one that I'm going to put the time limit on is going to be The Diabolic, because it was the last book that was chosen for me. So let me know in the comments down below how many days you think I am allowed to finish this book. It is 401 pages long. And I am about to start working 3 days a week in the month of May. So let me know if you think I can finish this, like what my time limit is. Do I have to finish it in a day, 2 days, 3 days, a whole week? Let me know in the comments down below what the time limit is for this, and whatever is the most common answer, I will have to finish it in.